Hey, it's Peter with the band Time Warp, and we are back again with another beautiful light from Shehds. And I'll tell you what, this is a very good lighting company. We are very impressed with the stuff that we've been using from Shehds. In this particular case, this is another moving head. This is actually their Galaxylet LED beam 180 watt moving head. And it's got gobos, it's got a lot of really cool things on it. Very bright, as you can see. It does have a pretty good. So what comes in the box, since we've already opened it up? Okay, well, obviously you're gonna get DMX cable. And what's really cool that I'll go over about this and most of their lights is they have both DMX in and out and PowerCon in and out, and that is very important for us. It does come with a power cable, and again, PowerCon cable, and these are awesome because they click in. So as I mentioned, and you'll see when I turn it on, it's got a beautiful display that's up front. And then again, as I mentioned, and one thing I'll tell you, I've seen some other lights that do not have handles on them. That may seem like a simple thing, but when you're trying to get these things on trusses, handles are very important. So the piece I talked about is it does have PowerCon in and out as well as DMX in and out on the back. Well, let's go over some details. So again, the power is 180 watt. It is a LED, actually the light source says it's a LED 150 watt white color. The beam angle, so a regular beam angle on is 2.8 degrees, but then if you're doing the prism effect, it goes out to 12.8 degrees, and then if you have, it has a frost effect, which is really cool, that brings it out to 14 degrees. It is obviously control-wise, it's a 512 DMX. It's got master slave, auto, and then of course, sound control. So it's got all of those. Color wheel, it's actually got 11 colors and an open. And then on the gobo, it's got 14 gobos and again, an open also. It also has a rainbow wheel that'll do 6 different colors. And within the prism, it's got an 18 face prism that will rotate, and it's counterclockwise, clockwise. The moving head range is pan is 450. Tilt is 210. You've got DMX functions. So if I go into it, it'll go into either the address or the number of channels. And then as we come back out of that, you've got what type of run mode. So in this particular case, we've got it on DMX. We can put it on auto, sound, or back to DMX. In our case, we use a computer to control all of our lights. But if you're doing this as a DJ, you may not necessarily be doing stuff like that. So it's nice to be able to have that display part there. So let's go in and check out what the light itself does. What it looks like. So here's 25% brightness. It says 50% brightness, 75, and then of course 100. And so I was saying, it's a very bright light. So this does have a movement when you go between colors because it's shifting the color around. So you can see what red looks like. Here's a pink. Here's orange, yellow, green, and I hope it's coming up right in terms of the colors. Kind of a cyan, blue, and purple. And of course you can kind of adjust some of these lights to get to a certain, right now that's on what is called zero focus, but if I go down to 85%, you can see that it becomes a really tight beam. The other piece that's really cool is this has a frost effect, so you can kind of see what it does. The strobes are really pretty cool. So, I just did a few different strobe pieces. This is it looks like probably, being able to do a lot of the kind of gobo concepts. You've got a few different versions of a circle. These are just a little bit wider. And then as you see, it gets even smaller. You've definitely got lines that will work through it. I call these snowflakes, or I don't know. And then you got various triangles. This is one set, you've got a smaller version of the triangles. And then you've got squares, which are, all these, as we show here in a minute, when they're spinning and they're moving around, really become cool. A lot of folks really love, we love when we throw blue into this kind of stuff, which really looks cool. So let's check out the videos from the band.